Greetings to you, my dear friends. I am happy that you have given attention towards developing yourself, because that's the reason you are listening to this voice tape. You're going to listen to lots of it in this CD. But this is going to be the first thing that I am going to draw your attention to. This is called as Changing the Paradigms. The title itself will be very critical for you sometimes. I want you to have a good look at this picture, which is on the display. The two circles. One major circle contains two segments, conscious mind, and another one is a subconscious mind, and that is directly linked to the body. What do you understand from this? By listening to this voice tape and by practicing the things that are suggested in this voice tape, you can even revolutionize your life. Because I've been always longing to say this to many people ever since I started giving speeches and starting to train individuals and starting to counsel lots of individuals. I always wanted to have this as the primary concept to be discussed. Whatever you think, whatever you put your thought process into, is directly influenced into the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is a magical kind of an mechanism. Whatever you say, that receives. Whatever you think, your conscious mind receives. The problem is that the input towards the conscious mind has to be very, very careful. Because when your conscious mind is really revolving with a periodical and a chronological thinking, that kind of chronological and repetitive thinking is going to make a very big impact on your subconscious mind. You will understand better by looking at this picture. See, you choose your thoughts, your conscious mind. You choose your thoughts. The conscious mind is otherwise called as intellectual mind, as you could see in the picture. You choose your thoughts. The intellectual mind processes those thoughts, and immediately those thoughts are sent to the second layer of the circle. That is your subconscious mind. Look at that. Your thoughts cause your feelings. The emotional mind, or otherwise called as the subconscious mind. And from there, the feelings are getting filtered, and those feelings cause your actions, and actions give a proper form of a result. So do you understand? These are three layers. Layer number one is your intellectual mind, layer number two is your emotional mind, and layer number three is your body, which causes the actions. Alright? And the outcome is your result. Think about your life. Go back to your past and just introspect your life. What are the results you have obtained in your academics, in your business? You might be a student, you might be an adult, you might be an adolescent, you might be a business class person, you might be a professional, you might be a salaried person. Whoever you are, I've got my respect to you. And I really congratulate and appreciate you for all the past accomplishments that you have done in your past, in your life altogether. And I would like to wish you the best for the years to come. But along with wishing the best in the years to come, it's my responsibility as your personal coach to tell you that from today onwards, from this moment after listening to this voice tape, I want you to be very, very careful with the feeding that you are doing for your conscious mind. Let's go back to this basic picture. Conscious mind, subconscious mind. I mean, the feeding on the subconscious mind is generally dependent upon what you are giving to your conscious mind, my dear friends. That's very, very important. The reason why I emphasize this so hard is you choose your thoughts by virtue of pictures. For example, if I ask you to describe about your car, if I ask you to describe about your classroom in the college, or if I ask you to describe about your office cabin, you will immediately trigger out lots of answers, and you will come out with describing your car or your classroom or your office room. And when you are describing at this due course, do you really think that you are thinking through words? Or you think that you are recollecting the pictures of that particular car, that particular classroom and that particular office cubicle? You actually recollect the pictures. When you are describing the car, you are into the parking lot right now. When you are describing about your classroom, you are into the classroom right now. You would be able to describe the color of the wall, the size and texture of the bench, and the dimension of the room sometimes. You are literally into that particular place. So you choose your thoughts and you think in pictures, as you could see in this picture. So your thinking mind, which is otherwise called as the conscious mind and intellectual mind, they think in the form of pictures. And those pictures are being titled and they are filtered and they go to the subconscious mind. They go to the emotional mind. Look at that. You choose your thoughts and you think in pictures. And you impress these thoughts upon your subconscious mind, which is otherwise called as the emotional mind. And your emotional mind is a kind of a parenthesis which keeps on receiving all the information that you provide from the conscious mind. So when you watch a particular scenario, when you hear a particular thing, when you talk about a particular aspect, it's all the process that is happening in the conscious mind. And from the conscious mind, it is diverged towards subconscious mind. So you think in form of pictures, and those pictures are sent to the subconscious mind. And the point is that, my dear friends, the subconscious mind immediately believes whatever the picture that you give to the subconscious mind. Isn't it a very careful proposition? You got to be very, very careful with the pictures feeding. This is where the key lies. You got to be very, very careful with the pictures. When you start up a new business, when you get into a new project proposal, the pictures that you are giving in accordance with the result that you are going to procure should be very, very neat, should be very, very clear. Okay, I'm getting into this particular project. The company has shown interest towards me to get into the project, and I have to put my hands onto the project and I need to get the results. I need to fulfill the objectives of the company. Fine, I will do that. So when you're thinking like this, you are sending the signaling of the pictures to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind immediately believes whatever you give. Right? And what happens next? Look at this. You choose your thoughts and you think in pictures. You impress these pictures or you impress these thoughts upon your subconscious mind. And then what happens? The body moves into action and produce results. So the results have got direct connection with the pictures that you send to the subconscious mind. And the pictures that are in the subconscious mind have got direct connection with the pictures that you have influenced into the conscious mind. So now tell me, answer this crucial question. Where do you think you have control on? Which part you can control? Is it the conscious mind? Is it the subconscious mind? Or is it results? Tell me. You are right. It is the conscious mind where you can have or exercise control over. You don't have any control over the subconscious mind because the subconscious mind is blind. It believes whatever you say. It immediately goes into the action and it sends thought process signals to the other parts of the mind, and your body responds to that, and you take actions, and based upon those actions, you produce the results. Don't blame the fate. Don't blame the destiny. Don't blame the others. Don't blame the other people's obstacles and other people's thoughts. When you fail in something, it is because of the pictures that you have given in the conscious mind. When you flunk in something, it was because of the pictures and it was because of the thought process that was fed into the conscious mind. When you had a little bit of a trouble in your office, in your classroom, or in your life altogether, it was because of you. Your conscious mind was given with lots and lots of negative factors. And those factors have been filtered and they have been sent to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind had been giving negative results. So it is you. You are the creator. Right? This is an epic kind of statement. You have read the articles from Swami Vivekananda's book. You go into any spiritual context, you get into any sort of spiritual pedagogy, you will find the statement. You learn Buddhism, you'll find the statement. You learn Judaism, you'll find the statement. You refer Bhagavad Gita, you refer Quran, you refer the Bible, and you refer any forms of testament that is considered to be very spiritual. Everything says this particular point. You are the creator of everything in your life. Right? So this picture depicts that on a very precise way, my dear friends. Look at this. Your thinking mind feeds things to the emotional mind, and out of the emotional mind, the response comes, and that is your action. And based upon those actions, you produce results. Now, the crazy thing is that people try to change the results, and they end up in doing nothing. It is a fiasco, because results are the results, right? You cannot have a control over it. Now, people try to change the results. I mean, get into the board meetings of multinational corporations and get into any kinds of business meetings. People will conduct lots of meetings to revise the results and how change the results. How can they change the results? The entire meeting is really a waste, because people should understand this particular point. Every individual who is working in the company has to be trained to keep the conscious mind on a proper uniform way. Every individual working in the company, every person who is the part of the business should be trained to really give proper thought processing signals to the conscious mind. Only then their subconscious mind will work on the proper way. So when you are able to understand this, I think you are really a matured person. Because as you could see in this picture, conscious mind is the intellectual mind and subconscious mind is the emotional mind. And these two really give proper inputs to the body. Understand this? Well, you might be having a little bit of a shaky feel right now that, oh my God, I did not know this for so long and I had been wasting lots of time. No, it's not like that. Anytime, your life can be transformed and revolved at any sphere of a time. And now it's my responsibility to give you a slight extension of how this can be controlled. No, it's very easy on my part to say that you got to be very, very clear in the pictures that you give to the conscious mind. But you have a crucial question into your mind. And the question is, okay, fine, but how can I do that? The answer is pretty simple, my dear friends. I want you to have a clear look at this picture. Your conscious mind is a big reservoir, but understanding that the intellectual mind, that is the conscious mind, receives all the picture is very easy. But then, on a common sense basis, you need to understand that there are 5 antennae of information. You are giving the information. I mean, though you are seeing everything through pictures, it clearly means that you are giving information. You are feeding information to your conscious mind, right? But what are the sources of information? What are the sources of information through which you give some pictures to the conscious mind, and those pictures go to the subconscious mind, and then it is being converted into the actions, and the actions are converted into the results. You need to know the 5 antennae of information, and they are not very technical. They are very, very common and quite easy to understand. They are actually the 5 senses: see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. So you see the information, you hear information, you touch things, you smell things, and you taste things, and these are the sources of information to your conscious mind. So you got to be very, very careful about what are you seeing outside and inside. What are you hearing in the society and into your circumstances, right? So this seeing and hearing have got enormous amount of control over your conscious mind. And when you're really able to filter the proper information, it means you got to have, or you got to be very careful with these 5 senses. Because we have 2 forms. One is result control thinking and another one is thinking controlling the results. I mean, I would say this is the universal solution for every problem, the solution to every problem. Look at this picture very carefully. If you have your business propositions right now, or if you're a student, your current performance as a student in your academics and your goal setting, present results will give the same present results. I mean, if you're fed up with the present results, you will have the same kind of results in the future as well. Alright, so this is results controlling your thinking. But we need to have the flip side of it, the topsy-turvy of it, okay? The object that you are seeing in the right-hand side of the picture, that is the thinking should control the results. New thinking gives you new results, and those new results will have emotional involvement into your subconscious mind, and you will keep on getting new results. Every time you get a result, you try to convert that result as a new form of thinking, and that new form of thinking should be added with lots of lessons that you learn from that result. And there should be an emotional involvement in whatever you do, and that emotional involvement is the duty of your subconscious mind. Okay, so you got to be very, very careful with having new forms of thinking. But how can these new forms of thinking be influenced into your conscious mind? It's pretty simple. You should understand this. I mean, the information. You give the information through seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. And then based upon the information, your conscious mind acts. Because the conscious mind, it can think, it can accept, it can reject. It can also choose. Okay, the information that you give can be put into the factory of your conscious mind. It can be thought, it can be accepted, it can be rejected, and it can also be chosen. But you should understand that the subconscious mind cannot think, it cannot reject, it cannot choose, but it can only accept. That's a crucial thing. So you got to be very, very careful with the information that you are giving through these five senses: seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Alright? So understand this difference. Intellectual mind can think, can accept, can reject, can also choose. Subconscious mind cannot think, cannot reject, cannot choose. It can only accept. So, what is the new message or new image you can affix in your mind? That's a crucial question. Now you have understood the information that you give or through your five senses, right? So if you have control over specifically on these two specific attributes, that is seeing and hearing, people see plenty of things. They will say plenty of things to you. You will see plenty of things, and you will say plenty of things to your own self. Alright? But whether you are perfecting the things, whether you are analyzing the things or filtering the things, that's upon your choice. So you got to be very, very clear. When someone says that this project is going to be very tough, you have to be very careful, because you should say that, okay, he might say that it is tough, but I don't believe it is tough. I think I can definitely do this with the gamut of experience I have in the past. See, you are controlling the information. Now your intellectual mind, it is accepting this particular statement that you give to your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind also accepts the same statement that you say. Rather, if you accept or if you observe the same statement that individual is giving, then you are lost. Your subconscious mind will take your wish is my command, I will do that, and your subconscious mind will be lost. You will also be lost. The result will be a failure. So, I wanted to ask a crucial question within yourself. Right? And that question is this: what new image can I affix now? Because the subconscious mind says to you that, my dear friend, I will receive the new image and work for you. Make sure that you give me a good image, okay? Because I don't have rights and power to change the nature of the image. The conscious mind has it. So give the conscious mind a proper image. He, that is the conscious mind, he will give me the image and I will do the same. So now you need to ask a new question. What new image can I fix? Right? How can you think about your goal in a new form, my dear friends? How can you think about the ambition that you have in a new form? I mean, think about it. You have a goal. I mean, you might be a professional, you might be a student, whoever you are. You have a target in the next level, right? Revise that target. So far you were not able to achieve the target because of the conscious mind obstacle. There was a barricade in conscious mind. Find that out. Find what was the barricade and try to have a new image of your own goal. If you know what I mean, right? Take your goal. What are you going to do in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2020? Take your 4 years goal. See that with a new image. Okay? You can say that, you can argue with me, Manikandan, I have this goal, but there are lots and lots of limitations attached with that goal. Okay, I accept that there are limitations. But the danger here is, the more you think about those limitations, you are putting yourself away from that goal. Your conscious mind is pulling you away from that goal. Your subconscious mind is thirsty. It needs proper food for its hunger, but you are not giving it. You have your own reasons, excuses, you have your own limitations, you have your own kinds of descriptions and personal story for not going closer to the goal, because you have not given the proper new image, positive image to your conscious mind. Because conscious mind sees everything in picture. So give a new picture. Draw a new picture of your goal, paste that in your living room, keep seeing that. Conscious mind receives the pictures, it sends to subconscious mind, and subconscious mind takes actions, and you'll get new results. This will definitely work for you. This will really work for you, because look at this slide. Which grid you are actually belonging to? Are you belonging to the grid of ignorance, or are you belonging to the grid of knowledge and understanding? Because ignorance gives you doubt, worry, and fear. Therefore, you get anxiety, you get suppressed, you get depressed, you get diseased, and you become disintegrated. But if you have knowledge about the new image that you are giving, or the new form of goal that you have, or if you have the understanding about your basic purpose in your life, you get faith. Thereby you have well-being, you have very good expression, you have acceleration, you will always be at ease, and you will be a creative person, ultimately. Alright? So you got to be very careful. I mean, which grid do you belong to? If you don't believe this voice tape, I think you are in the left-hand side grid, ignorance, doubt, worry, and fear. If you think that this voice tape, the message that is affixed in this voice tape is going to give you proper result, then you belong to this right grid. You have knowledge, you have understanding, and you will have faith. I'm damn sure about it. Because if you really understand this, I want you to have a good look at this particular slide. See those five senses: see, hear, touch, smell, and taste. And have more concentration towards the see and hear. When you see something, when you hear something, have a control over what you are seeing, my dear friends. Have the control over what you are hearing. Filter it. And then send that image to the conscious mind as a new image. Do you understand? Yeah? Because look at the statement. New conscious image leads to new subconscious image, which ultimately leads to what? Yes, new results. So when you control and filter, when somebody says that it is tough, you don't believe that. Please tell your conscious mind, my dear conscious mind, he might be calling it tough, but it is not going to be tough for you. We can definitely do that. When someone says that it is going to be highly impossible, you can say to your conscious mind that it is his opinion. We need not be the football of others' opinion. It will be possible for me. Maybe it is impossible for him, but it is possible for me. Let's go for it. See, this kind of controlling and filtering you have to do every now and then, my dear friends. You get what I mean? Yeah? So, by doing this every now and then, by doing this during every proposition, by doing this during every kind of purpose-oriented thinking, you always instill new image, and your conscious mind gets so much strengthened, and your subconscious mind receives the new image and gives you the result. So, let me reiterate the statement for you one more time. New conscious image leads to new subconscious image, and that new subconscious image ultimately leads to new results. Yes, you're rebooting your life. You're really rebooting your life for the purpose of acquiring new results. So understand this conceptuality properly, because I want you to see this slide. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. You have control and filtering over all those five senses, and you give proper, careful, new form of new image, and the subconscious mind gets a new image. The new image you impress upon your subconscious mind controls the vibration, and those vibrations control what you attract into your life. So, it all begins with carefully watching what your conscious mind is experiencing.